everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Malaysia and I am the owner of Simple Clarity Co. So let's dive into today's topic. Is having a niche helping or hurting your brand? We're going to take some time, sit down, think through some situations, weigh out pros, cons, and kind of conclude it all, if you will. If that's something that you're interested in finding out more about or even taking notes on, make sure to stay tuned. So opinions on having a niche are pretty divided. There are some that are 100% for it. There are some that are not for it at all, don't like to be conformed, don't like to be in a container, boxed in, whatever analogy you want to give for having a niche. To me, it's a very subjective thing. I don't mind sitting down, weighing the pros and cons, because I myself had to think about this before I even launched my business. Well, I thought about it, but I did not implement it before I launched my business. I knew what my business focus was, but being able to find an audience and talk to them specifically, my products did not reflect what message I wanted to get out there. So we're going to go through the pros, the cons. Now, spoiler alert, my answer as of today is that niches are necessary for business or a brand that wants to go long term in a certain marketplace and to have a passion. I don't think niches are necessary for someone to just start up or who just wants to start making income. The first topic that we want to touch on are the pros of having a niche in your brand. First thing, your brand identity. It becomes stronger. People know you for a specific thing that would then make finding your targeted market, which is the next pro, is that you have a built-in targeted marketing. That is something that I struggled with in the beginning. Everyone in the world needs clarity. Everything with an emotion needs some type of therapeutic way to handle certain situations in their life. That was what my brand was known for, right? I can market clarity products, and that was great. That was my niche. But what happened was I did not have a target audience with such a broad branding or niche. And that's where I didn't go along. I didn't continue on. Your niche will help you focus whenever you're doing maybe ads. If you're running ads, you can be very specific on how your ads run, to what exact people and what exactly they like, and what age group or what gender or what interest people have. You can narrow that down so specifically that the money that you put in to run ads is not wasted. It's going directly to the people you want to see. And then on top of that, it'll help you. Certain vendor shows. Yes, people can do vendor shows and farmer markets that are just broad and you have a niche there. That's beautiful. But also there are specific ones that you're going to get your crowd. Think of how they'll have a vegan fest, or they'll have a tattoo convention, or they'll have Comic-Con. It's all narrowed down. It's the niche. And when you have a table there with that niche, you're getting your target market. Also, a pro of having a niche is it does reduce the competition in your field. One of my aspects of my business is candles. Another one is stationery. Me having a niche on clarity, or maybe you have a niche with your candle business on book themes, it narrows down that competition, because people know, okay, not only is it just candles, it is a candle tied to this specific genre, this specific theme. It has its own small subset in such a vast market. So niching can help in markets that are very oversaturated, or markets that are just big. Think of the beauty industry. There's different niches in the beauty industry. The algorithms you see on your social media is the things you're interested in such broad topics. You are niched down in that topic, and that's how your algorithm is formed. Niches are a part of the metadata that people are collecting to be able to promote to you. It's crazy to think about it in the vast scope of things. Niches can help reduce the competition in your market. Another pro of having a niche is the pricing. Now you have a specific type of product that is geared to this niche. The pricing in that is more flexible. There's less competitive pricings, and you can price them at premium prices. You can price it at a price that you see fit for your specific niched product. With your pricing, also still take into consideration the quality of products that you use to make it and what the end result looks like. Is it worth that price too? It's a self-reflection thing in your niche. I know you might like it. I know you might think that this is the best idea, but make sure the price matches that outcome of your product, because what we're not doing is using cheap plastic and then pricing it at glass prices. We're not doing that. The next pro is having loyal customers. Once you've had your brand identity, you've got it out to that target market of yours for the customer base, you're getting repeat customers. You're getting loyal customers who are coming to you for your specific niche. So loyal customers are more likely going to happen quicker. That is a mass benefit to have repeat customers to keep business growth going. You're able to build an expertise. That in itself is beneficial. You building an expertise, becoming a resource, opens up other funneling of income now. So now when you put out an ebook, when you put out tutorials for people to pay for, when you put out exclusive content, now they're trusting your opinion. They're going and they're purchasing things that you made to help with the niche in your field, or so on and so forth. You just created another income stream, or several income streams, should I say. Overall, having a niche helps with clarifying what you want to focus on. It helps with building a name for yourself, building a brand. Another thing that you get is you get the community at the end of the day. Either you can become a part of, or you can build your own. You can make another safe place for somebody else. Now you found your people, right? You found your group. You found your clique, that this is something that you love, you're passionate about, and now there's others. It helps with the human interaction, right? That's one thing I believe people always need, is human interaction, and to have interaction with people that have similar tastes as you. It only goes from there. I think that's probably my very optimistic way of thinking, but overall a niche does help that. Now, with the good, here comes the negative. First negative of having a niche is that you unfortunately have a limited market. It's great, less competition, but it's also limited. Focusing on this niche could mean that you're missing out on other clientele, other customers. Money is walking past you because they're not into your product in your niche, right? Well, they're not into the niche of your product, and you secluded yourself. Also, the more narrowed down the niche, the higher the risk and the higher the vulnerability you are to a market switch. And what I mean by market switch is the popularity in your niche could go away like that. Think about this as going kind of with the fad. This is in right now. This is in style right now. I don't go with the fad. I have never all my life. So it's being younger, going with, I remember when skinny jeans came in. I wholeheartedly hung on to my bell-bottom jeans for extra 2 years. Because who's going with the fad? Not I, said the cat. No, I've never cared about that. I've always just liked what I liked. So it was very easy for me to not fall into this particular negative of having a niche. When the market or the popularity goes away for that product or that niche, you're left with nothing. Business revenue goes down. Do you even have a business anymore? Think about that too. Is your niche getting too specific that you could not even continue on with the business? Now, the next con, it kind of ties into that whole high risk and vulnerability of the market shift, is your niche diverse enough? Can you expand without confusing your customer base? Because you have to think about all of those turning points. You have to think about all of those exclusivities that you will have. To go back into the marketing part of it, because that was one of the pros, right? We had a targeted marketing. We can run our ads specifically. We can do this. But whenever you have a niche, you have to pay someone who specializes in marketing this type of product. Do you even know how to market to that niche? Do you know how to put this into something that they can see in their real life? That's outside of even running ads and stuff. That's just your normal marketing and post and in sharing information? Like, can the person see your product with them? Which that is something that we have to do as business owners, right? I have to be able to make you feel like this product could be in your everyday life, or in your life at this aspect or this time frame, that you would want this product at that moment. That might take specialized marketing for your product, whatever it is. Like I said, I'm just using the examples of the things that I have, because that's really all I can speak on whenever it comes to the pros and cons, because I had to think about this. You might come into that where you have to actually get professional help to be able to market such a niche product. So that is another con. And then the final con is that there still is potential for oversaturation in your niche. That becomes a little trickier. Not only do you have an oversaturated market like the beauty industry or candles, you have your niche that is oversaturated. Think about things like book talk taking off and going crazy. And now there's a whole bunch of candle makers just doing book thing. You are oversaturated in your subcategory, in your niche. That is even more of a tough spot, especially if if you're affected by the other cons of not being able to pivot, not being able to expand without confusing your customer base in your niche. That all just starts to kind of snowball over. Now, just for the video's sake, I just wanted to give some broad topics that you could have a niche in that are very popular today. We're starting off with the ones that I am involved in right now: candles and stationery. For candles, there's like aromatherapy, eco-friendly. Like I said, there's book themed ones, there's dessert candles, your luxury candles, right? You have your themed candles, like maybe weddings or a holiday, special occasion candles. And then for stationery, we have kids stationery, professional, minimalist, wedding, productivity. You know, stationery has its own. We have business coaching. Maybe you're an author, beauty industry, body products. Another one, supplements. And then last, something that you partake in every single day because you have to do it, is the food industry. Your cultural themed restaurants, your Italian, your Chinese, your Japanese, your Mexican, your Ethiopian, which I went to an Ethiopian restaurant before, so delicious. So a niche is around you in every day, and you partake in a niche every single day. It's exactly what your algorithm bets on. The niches that you're into to push the information in front of you, to push the business in front of you, to push the post in front of you, to travel vlogs, whatever. That is all a niche. But it depends on how narrowed down in the niche that you get, if it's helpful or hurtful for your business. Finally, let's figure out, is it for your brand? These are questions that you need to ask yourself. Do you have a passion? Do you have an expertise? Do you have an interest? Right? It doesn't need to be so passionate. Sometimes it's just an interest in the field. Do you even have that? Do you have any of this? And your interest doesn't always have to be something that is going to directly affect you. Think about men and women's health. They don't go through womanly problems, but they want to be a nurse, a gynecologist, an OB. Because they have an interest in making sure that women are safe in certain aspects, right? It doesn't need to be a passion all the time. Sometimes you have to be interested enough to go on and take the journey and take the hits that come with learning and the downfalls that come with the journey. If you have an interest that deep, great. If you have an expertise in it, great. If you have a passion for it, phenomenal. That's the first line you need to ask yourself if you're thinking about if a niche is even good for you. Now, you need to think about your niche topic. Is the niche topic even a valuable one? Is there a market demand for it? Or is it filling a gap that you notice? Also, how unique in your niche do you want to get? Can you also pivot in that niche if necessary, if it comes to a business demand, without confusing your audience? Next, are the resources even available for you to make a substantial profit in business off of this niche? Is the pricing sustainable for you to stay in your price market for this niche? It's another question you want to ask yourself when it comes to resources available to maintain sustainability and profitability. Next question is, do you have the competitive drive? There needs to be a competitive drive in you to keep being creative, got your targeted market with your loyal customers. So can you keep them interested? You know, remember that was the con. Great that you have the loyal customers and you can target market to them. Can you keep them? One example I will give you is Tina with XXL. She does not take her photography for her scrunchies and her hair care, any of her hair products, just normal pictures. She makes it a whole aesthetic. She just makes you want to put a Pinterest board together of just, and it's scrunchies. It's just clips, it's scrunchies, but she does it so well that I will pay the Canadian shipping fee and the United States taxes to make sure I have hers. And we all know that that market is oversaturated. It's a hair product. Scrunchies are at Walmart, they're at Target, but there is something that makes me want to have hers. She does phenomenal at this. It's something I look up to and I love that about Tina's business with XXL Scrunchie, because she has that competitive drive. That is a perfect example, actually, to keep your loyal customers coming and sustainability and growth in your business. I commend you 1,000 times, Tina. You're freaking phenomenal. I have too many XXL Scrunchies actually over here to the right. And lastly, ask yourself, am I part of a niche community right now? Because then that will help you answer the other questions. Filling the gaps. Is there a demand? Kind of help if you're already in a community. Or are you ready to build a community? Do you want a community of whatever the niche is? Do you want to find your people? And that will help you decide if you want a niche or not. The conclusion for this entire video, if you haven't already realized it, it is a personal decision you need to make. It's not helpful or hurtful. It is what is beneficial for you. Having a niche, you have your crowd, you have your people, you have your community, you have your loyal customers. On the other hand, is it worth it? Are those cons outweighing the pros for me to not even deal with a niche? I don't have that capacity of effort, of energy, and that is okay. There are plenty of people who just start up a business. Think about people who just, they have white label things. I've done white label candle making for someone. People build businesses off of going to fair and buying wholesale and just putting it out there. They're not in a niche, they just want to be in the category. That is okay too. There's nothing wrong with that. So you just need to carefully weigh the pros and cons of being involved in a niche environment. To answer those self-reflecting questions that I mentioned previously, and I will also leave them down below for you, whichever path you take, remember, each one of them take thoughtful planning. And plan ahead and think ahead in both instances. So some tips I want you guys to write down, take note of. Remember, there are still pricing tiers, right? There's still cheap, affordable, high-end, luxury. It's still there. That even if you have a niche, you're in your tier correctly. Your finished product, your outcome of your product, and the quality of materials or ingredients in your product will put you in the right pricing tier. You just be ethical enough to know that, hey, this is actually where I go. Start your effective marketing. Get in the Facebook groups. Get underneath the hashtags of the things that you're into, whether it's a niched one or just a broad category of for your brand, or the content creators that are involved in what your brand is trying to do. Start to be effective in the market that you want to be in. Take those tips, hopefully you wrote them down, and then start just brainstorming what you want your brand to be about. Brainstorming is just a thought without any limitation. It does not have to be so specific. It does not have to be listed out properly. Just throw it on paper. Get it out of your head, see it, or digital paper, text, however you do it. Comment down below the niches that you are into, the topics that you are into. Let me know if having a niche, a branded niche, was for you or not. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful and it kind of gave you a little bit more insight. Make sure to like the video so that I know that you like this type of content. Subscribe if you are interested in seeing more videos from myself. Follow me on my social media accounts. They will be linked below in the description. And I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.